right, I'm going to do a talk on basically creating a new contract vehicle for U.S. contractors and federal contractors, government contractors that basically support, for the most part, the industrial military complex of the United States of America. Now, really in the last 20 years, the amount of work, actually maybe 30 years, I don't know when the transition happened. I'm not a historian on the, federal contracting network model. Basically, contractors now handle everything for the support logistics of the military and the U.S. government. They're responsible for basically setting up bases, managing bases, running logistics, everything from the food services to the shopping services. If you think of a military base now, being a product now of this group of contractors you're running and setting up, they're small cities. And ultimately, federal contractors and government contractors and all these other contracting bodies that exist and are already in place in the United States were involved in 9/11 cleanup, were involved in Katrina, Miami, every imaginable event, significant event, 3 Mile Island. These individuals did the heavy lifting. They're the ones. And you have to understand, you probably don't know that there's over 4,000 of these just federal contractors. There's probably over 10,000 contractors that service the body of the kind of work that is required. And the infrastructure network on how they operate and work is already in place. So the opportunity, and this is what we're exploring with Help Japan Co. Help Japan Co. wishes to bring that system to a much bigger body, and that is the global national disaster recovery effort. And what we're seeking to do is pilot it in Japan, because the fact is, if we can marshal, and when I say, I'm not talking about the large integrators, because large integrators are already here, the GEs. And the integrators are actually a DC term. I'm talking about companies that integrate with the Fed or the government or whatever. Those are integrators. CACI, Lockheed Martin, BAE Systems, Mantech. These are massive companies. These are billion-dollar companies that, that basically compete for these major contracts. But you have to understand, when they compete for these major contracts, they have what's known as prime subs, 10 to 20 subcontractors that are going to do most of the heavy lifting. Now, these prime subs will have something called subs. So they will actually now go off and, it's kind of like a pyramid system. If you think of it that way, you've got their top of the pyramid is the big integrator, you got your prime subs, and then you got the rest of those contractors out there. And the money is always being a prime, right? Prime is where the money's at. A prime sub is good, but a prime is where, because you're making the decisions. You're the one. You have the control. So using that similar model, what we're doing at Help Japan Co. is actually something clever. What we're saying is, let's create a co-op, Japan Co. Co for co-op, of prime companies, all right, that will partner with us in helping to deal with whatever situation, whatever need Japan has. And basically what Japan is ultimately doing is they're outsourcing that need directly to Help Japan Co. Help Japan Co. then will oversee the work and identifying the people who will do the work, who are best qualified for the work. They would interface with those folks and also interface with the with the client. Facing, we call that, right? Facing with the client and also with facing with the contractor and also facing with the client, and providing everything from translating the reports into Japanese, providing translators, providing weekly updates, monthly updates as specified by our customer, and ultimately facilitating and creating a workable relationship. So, if we can make this work, and we don't know if it's going to work. We don't know if there's too many questions. What we would like to do is, expand it. So we will expand it globally to basically every community that has been impacted, and we would go in there. Think of it kind of like a Halliburton, but for social good. Now, understand what we want to do is to I'm copying from Soap Hope, right? Soap Hope. And I can't think of Sashish or something, Sashi's name, the CEO. He did an article in Fortune magazine. And ultimately, what I want to do is take all the profits that we generate and turn those profits for helping those communities recover. So that's it. It's a pretty simple idea. So we're basically going to pioneer this. Can we get contracts? Are they responsive? If they are, we roll out as a startup, as an independent company, and a Japanese-owned company, and with U.S. and Japanese investors, and we see what happens. My poor son has a cold, as you can see. He's coughing up a storm. What do you think, Tommy? Good? Good idea? Dad was talking. Yeah, I don't know how many people go, oh my God, he's recording and got kids in the car. Really, this is no different than me having a conversation with someone in the car. So, if you think driving and talking is a bad idea, then, because I'm hands-free, I'm not holding the phone. The phone is actually up in the visor. I'm not really looking at it. I'm looking around and stuff right there. And, and I just, to me, whoa!